there, so students could leave the class, and I don't know whether they have written the formula or not. But I am just trying to write down all the formulae once again for you. And today we shall be starting with the solution of the questions which are based on these articles. Okay. So dx integration of
Sorry to interrupt, but I think your video is off. I am unable to see you.
I just check it out once again here. No, video is there. Video was there. Anyway, now it's visible.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Okay, thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you. So integration of dx upon x square plus a square is equal to 1 by a into tan inverse x upon a plus constant. Why we should be so particular about the formula? The reason you will come to know right now, children. When I write all formulae for you, to see that there is a small difference of positive and negative sign in between the first two formulae. Okay, say x square plus a square in the denominator, and here it is x square minus a square in the denominator. Just there is a difference of minus sign in the function, but to answer what we are writing, that answer is totally different. Okay, the answer will be 1 by 2a log of x minus a divided by x plus a constant quantity. Okay, likewise, if I write again the type of the function like dx upon a square minus x square, again now you see that here a square is positive, x square is negative, and here it was previous formula a square was negative and x square was positive. Okay, but answer of this particular function, integration of this function is again different. We should write 1 by 2a log of x plus a divided by a minus x plus a constant of integration. Okay, so now it is giving a reflection like, you know, one particular type of lock can be made open by its own key. Each lock cannot be made open with the help of every key or each and every key. Okay, one specific type of key is made for opening a specific type of lock. I'm talking about this particular example in under normal conditions. Okay, because for thieves there is no tradition. Okay, they can make open any kind of lock with any kind of instrument rather than using key. Okay, so in standard and normal conditions, for one lock there is one specific key. So I say that for integration of a specific type of function, we are required to make open, or we are required to solve this question by using a particular key or the particular answer. So this example you please keep in your mind. I will ask one simple question to you all children. Suppose on one particular day, okay, you take the responsibility to help any peon of your school, and suppose you try to help him out by opening the rooms of opening the classrooms, the lock of classrooms. You take the bunch of the key from him and you try to make it open. So my question to you, suppose if this is the situation, whether you will be able to open all the locks in single attempt, because you never have seen which lock is having which particular key. So if you are given the bunch of the key, will you be able to open all the locks correctly in one single attempt?
No, sir.
No, honestly, no.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. So same thing is true over here, students. Okay. So suppose if we try to memorize this formula in one attempt, we shall not be able to memorize this formula, and that's why the prolonged use, the continuous use of the formula should be there from the student side. 3 formulae I have written. I am going to write down 6 more formulae for you. Okay. All of them will be having only 2 terms in the denominator, a square and a square, with sometimes here 3 functions I have written without square root sign. Now 3 functions I am going to write down with square root sign, but you see that answers for all formulae are different. Okay, so here if I write next formula dx by under root of x square plus a square, the answer will be equal to log of x plus under root of x square plus a square plus a constant of integration. Next formula, if I write dx upon under root of x square minus a square, it will be equal to log of x plus under root of x square minus a square plus a constant of integration. And if I write under root of dx upon under root of a square minus x square, it will be equal to sine inverse of x upon a plus constant of integration. Okay. So this 6 formulae, you can see that only 2 terms in the denominator are written, and all possible arithmetic combination with plus and minus sign have been utilized. And the same 2 quantities binomial, but within the square root sign. And after writing this 6 formulae, children, have you noted this formulae, or you are aware about this formula? Are you all aware about this formula, children?
Yes, sir. I am having the NCERT book in front of me, so they are written over here.
They are written over here. Ankit, what about you, beta? Ankit, if you could speak a little louder. Anyway, perhaps Ankit could not get connected with us. What I'm going to do, students, that 3 more formulae I would like to write in front of you. And basically, those formulae will be little bit confusing. So I am there with a short trick to memorize those formulae. Okay. So 3 more formulae I am writing. This line which I have drawn, below this, if I try to write something, will you be able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Up to this place?
Even below, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, beta. Thank you. So next formula what I am going to write down, that is integration of under root of x square plus a square into dx. Okay. So when I try to write down this formula, the answer will be x by 2 into under root of x square plus a square plus a square by 2 into log of x plus under root of x square plus a square. Next formula I am going to write under root of x square minus a square dx. This will be equal to x by 2 into under root of x square minus a square. Yes, now you are not able to see that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
They are visible.
They are visible? Okay. So minus a square by 2 into log of x plus under root of x square minus a square. Okay. And third formula I am writing somewhere here only. You will be able to see that third formula again. Integration of under root of a square minus x square dx. This is equal to x square by 2 into under root of a square minus x square plus a square by 2 into sine inverse of x upon a plus. Okay. So now actually this 6 plus 3, 9 special integral formulae I have written for you. And all of them are most important so far as our CBSE class 12 or MP board class 12 syllabus is concerned. Right. So please see one thing, that last three formulae, they are having 2 terms. Each one of them is containing the variable x and function of x. Okay. So this 3 formulae will be little bit lengthy, and they will be confusing also for you to memorize them and to write the correct answer. So I have got a trick for memorizing this formula correctly. Could you see what is the first term in all 3 formula?
X by 2.
Here,
X by 2.
By
here. Let me write this also x by 2. I committed one mistake over there, so I have cancelled that x square by 2. It is x by 2. Okay. So now you see that last 3 formulae have got one similarity. Okay. What is that? The first term is x by 2 in all of them. Okay. And this x by 2 is multiplied by the very same function which is being integrated. Okay, so if you are writing the formula for integration of under root x square plus a square, in the first term x by 2 will get multiplied by same function. You notice the same thing in the second function. This x by 2 is multiplied with the quantity which is being integrated in the formula. Okay, likewise here under root of a square minus x square is integrated, so x by 2 is multiplied by the same function. So I hope this similarity you must have observed in this three formulae. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. And then you notice the sign of a square term. In the first function, what is the sign of a square term? Positive. So here you see that you will be able to write down positive sign. In the second function, what is the sign of a square term? In the standard formula, a square term is negative. So here we are going to write down minus sign. And in the third formula, a square is positive. So here we are going to write down positive sign. Okay. So this is second observation, that after writing the first term, the sign of the second term will be same as the sign of a square term. Correct? And now you see that the second term starts with a square by 2. In the second formula also a square by 2. In the third formula also a square by 2. Okay. So these are all the similarities which will help you to memorize and to recall the formula correctly. Okay. Not only that, but now you see that this answer a square by 2 into log of x plus under root x square plus a square. If you could try to recall this formula which I have encircled, this is the same quantity. Okay, this quantity which I am writing, it is same, and you can see that this is dx upon under root of x square plus a square, and here it is under root of x square plus a square into dx. That means these two quantities, one is written in the numerator and the other one is written in the denominator. There is a difference. Okay, but this part of the answer, it is common in both of them. Likewise, when you notice dx upon under root of x square minus a square, so its answer is equal to log of x plus under root of x square minus a square. So this quantity you can notice somewhere here, it is also common. And likewise, dx upon root a square minus x square is equal to sine inverse x upon a. This is also common somewhere here. Okay. So if you actually learn this six formulae, so remaining three formulae you very well and correctly you can recall. Okay. And now one question. In last class, what I did have with you, I have derived the formula dx upon x square plus a square is equal to 1 upon a into tan inverse x upon a plus c. So in the same fashion, remaining formulae also can be derived. But right now, derivation of the standard formula is not my target right now. I just wanted to develop a level of confidence in each one of you after you attend the class. Okay. So gradually, I will be paying attention on integration by substitution also. As a question of integration by substitution, I shall be giving you the derivation of any one of the formula also. And moreover, more important thing is that those special type of questions where this formulae are applicable. Okay, so it is most important for a 12th standard student to integrate. So we are starting with the application of this specific formula, and there also we shall be using the method of substitution. Correct? So I will be suggesting what is the substitution, and our main target would be to make use of the formulae for special integrals. Correct?
Sir, the formula which we wrote, the third one of the special integral, a square upon 2 sine inverse x by a.
Yes.
So, sir, yes, sir. So, what we studied in inverse trigonometry was the sine inverse, cos inverse, all these functions are interrelated. So, we can interchange the functions and accordingly the formula, like it will be cosec inverse a by x.
Yes. Whatever properties of inverse trigonometric functions what you have studied, okay, same formula can be utilized over here also. Correct? That can be applied. There is no problem at all. You can write this answer in the form of cosec inverse of a by x. There is no harm. But I will suggest one thing there, that in 12th standard, you should not go for any kind of experimentation. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because what happens, I tell you that one examiner who is evaluating your answer sheet, he undergoes minimum 300 to 400 answer sheets. Okay? So initially, when he is concentrating more, he will be able to notice all the things, correct? But when suppose after an evaluation of 300, after an evaluation of 250 answer sheets, then one mental state of that examiner would come when he notices this thing. If it is there, he will be awarding you marks. If he does not find this thing but cosec inverse, so there is chance that he may put a cross mark against that. Okay? And that's why I normally suggest all my students not to go for any kind of experimentation, but you follow the standard methods. Because as such now, main purpose was the integration. Main purpose is not the conversion of one inverse trigonometric function into another. Okay. So what is the main purpose of solving the question? Question based on integration, not to show our knowledge for the conversion of inverse trigonometric function. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And whenever we will put the limit if given, then the answer will be the same.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now we are going to apply this formally, and I am categorically writing some of the types of the integrals what we have to study. Okay. So type of the integral what we are going to discuss. You please copy all these varieties of the questions. Okay. I am writing, I think I will be able to write down around 19 or 20 different type of questions before you. I am not providing the solution of them right now, but you please make the list of this 20 type of articles, and after that I shall be solving the questions on that. Okay. So first type of question which we will be solving, that is dx upon quadratic.
सर क्लियर नहीं दिख रहा है.
अभी भी नहीं दिखा क्लियर?
सर अब दिख गया. ओके ओके
ओके. ऐसा हुआ होगा शायद कि बिकॉज मेरी पोजीशन के पीछे जो है वो लाइट है, तो शायद मेरा खुद का शेडो बोर्ड के ऊपर गिर रहा होगा किसी पर्टिकुलर एंगल पर. So because of that thing, you might be not in the position to see what I have written on the board.
Camera lost the focus, sir.
Camera को तो touch ही
No,
नहीं किया.
sir. Now it's clear.
Now it's clear. Okay. ठीक. So dx upon quadratic. Second is dx upon under root quadratic. Third one was linear upon quadratic. Linear upon quadratic into dx. Fourth is dx upon a trigonometric function like a plus b into sin x. Fifth question will be similar to that, dx upon a plus b into cos x. Okay. Sixth formula will be similar to that, dx upon a sin x plus b into cos x. Seventh formula would be, seventh standard function would be dx upon a sin x plus b cos x plus c. Eighth would be dx upon a plus b sin square x. Ninth would be dx upon a plus b cos square x. Okay. 10th function can be written as dx upon a sin square x plus b into cos square x. 11th variety could be written in the form of dx upon a sin square x plus b into sin x into cos x plus c into cos square x. And 12th can be written in the form of dx upon a sin square x plus b into sin x into cos x plus c into cos square x plus d. Okay, so right now you please write this 12 varieties of the questions, and then I will be solving for you the type of the questions what I have written. Okay, means this 12 main articles are there, and after a couple of minutes, when you say you have copied them down, then we shall be starting with the first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Okay. And solving these questions, the concept of substitution will come in the picture. Okay, so that will be giving you a practice for substitution also. Plus, these questions are more important, or I should say, much more important than any ordinary question based on integration by substitution. So you should understand them clearly. You should get more time for the practice of the difficult type of questions. This is my intention. And that is why instead of starting the question, ordinary question of integration by substitution, I have tried to give you more time and more exposure for this variety of the problems. Okay. So you please copy this and tell me quickly so that I can start solving the question.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर
Yes.
सर आपने 7th में नीचे वाली
A sin x plus B cos x plus C.
यस सर ओके
ओके, ये कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी है, ए बी और सी तीनों कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटीज है, और बाकी फंक्शन ऑफ एक्स या तो एल्जेब्रिक एक्सप्रेशन है या फिर हम लोगों के पास में ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक फंक्शंस है। ओके, इनमें से कोई एक टाइप का फंक्शन होगा।
यस
हैव यू रिटन?
Just a minute, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Take your own time, children. Take your own time. So should I clean now?
Sir, the 11th formula in the denominator, there is nothing as constant.
Yes.
Because there is reflection, so I'm just getting it.
Now I hope you will be able to see. There is no constant term. 3 terms are there. There is only difference
Yes,
of the
sir.
constant term in question number, type of 11 and type number 12.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, sir. So,
Yes. Only one difference was there of constant only in the denominator. Okay. Rest the complete function is same. So, children, we are now trying to find out the solution of the most important type of question, that is integration of dx upon quadratic. And once again, I would like to lay emphasis on one particular characteristic of the indefinite integral, that these questions can be solved by, or formula or a standard function can be integrated only with its own formula. Okay, so there is a long list of around 30 formula for integration. So I request each one of you that as the doctor prescribes any medicine, so in the same fashion, the mathematics teacher also is prescribing the medicine for integration. That is, you should write all formulae once a day. All formulae, honestly, you should write once in a day till your mathematics paper of class 12 is over. Okay, because what happens when teacher teaches integration, our mind frame is correlated with integration. But when teacher in the school, if that teacher teaches some other topic, so all these formulae, they will be out of our sight. And if they are out of our sight, very soon they will go out of our mind also. And this is my experience of observing children like you from past 31 years. Okay. So because of that thing, I'm always advising my children that you should always try to write formula once in a day. So that always, you know, nature of integration, that one question can be solved by using a particular formula. So if you recall incorrect formula for a question, you are going to get no marks for that. And moreover, time also will be lost by you. Okay. So now we see that when we try to integrate the type of the question like integration of dx upon a quadratic, the quadratic means I wanted to get the general quadratic in the denominator. Otherwise, you see that if I write formula dx upon x square plus a square, or else if I write integration of dx upon x square minus a square, or else if I write dx upon a square minus x square, all three functions what I am writing in the denominator, they are also quadratic, but they are called the pure quadratic terms. They are called pure quadratic. Okay. And what is the difference between pure quadratic and general quadratic? That in the general quadratic, we will be having the quantity like x square. The quantity means degree 2 term containing variable is present. Here constant term is present. And in the general quadratic, apart from these two terms, one more term which is having degree 1. That means quantity containing variable to the highest power 1. Okay, that term also will be included. So such type of expressions are called general quadratic. So now when we try to integrate, any question dx upon, suppose I am writing x square plus 3x minus 2. Suppose if I write this type of expression, then you please see that this function which is given to me, it does not match with any one of the standard formula. Why it is so? Because in the standard formula, I am given a pure quadratic, and here I am given a general quadratic. How difficult is indefinite integral, or how complicated it is? I am not saying it is difficult. I am saying it is complicated. It requires more of our attention. You might have seen, students, that normally, suppose you are familiar with the Godrej company, it is making very good quality locks. Okay. Suppose there is a lock made by a Godrej company, and this is the size of the lock. Okay. I am trying to just show the simple. Okay. So in that case, if this is the size of the lock, proportionately the key of the lock also you can imagine. But if the same Godrej company manufacture this type of lock, which is very small in size. So now you try to imagine, can this small size lock be opened with the help of that key of big size lock? In the first example, if the lock is big, its corresponding key also should be longer in length. So will that longer length key be able to open the small lock? Answer will be no. Okay. So appropriate key is required. So for integration of any function, okay, we require appropriate formula. And this appropriate formula, that means list of 30 standard formulae which you must be having with you. So unfortunately, this question what I am writing here, this does not fall in any one of the standard formula, because for quadratic in the denominator, we are having this 3 formula which today we have noted down. Okay. So what should be the method of solving this variety of the question? So method of solving the question is that we cannot remove any specific term from the given function. Means you should not think that, sir, standard formula contains x square and constant term, so let us ignore 3x from the given function and we just try to write down dx upon x square minus 2. No, this is not that kind of thing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what we are required to do is that somehow we have to convert this in the form of dx upon pure quadratic. I already have told you one more thing, students, that the presence of a variable in the function, that presence of any variable or choice of a variable is not that much important. That means suppose this formula what I have written for you, those formulae can contain the variable y also. There will be no difference in the final answer. Function remains same, only the variable changes from x to y. That means answer to this formula or answer to this question can be written in the form of 1 by a tan inverse y upon a. Okay, only this change will be there. So using this particular property, we shall try to convert the given function dx upon x square plus 3x minus 2. I would like to ask a small question. Do you know how to make this general quadratic a perfect square? In class 9th, we had been told how to make this quantity a perfect square.
Completing a square.
Yes, completing the square or making it perfect square, one and the same thing. Okay. So here what exactly happens, that suppose if I try to write three terms, a square plus 2ab plus b square. So this three type of terms can be written in the form of a plus b, the whole square. And we can say that these three terms, they are forming the perfect square of a single term a plus b. Or else even if we are having the term like a square minus twice ab plus b square, it could have been written as a perfect square of single term a minus b. Okay, so this concept we shall try to apply somewhere here. Okay, and now you please see, there are quantities containing variable x, so we shall try to make them perfect square. You can observe one thing. That this is square of b. Here also square of b, and that is with positive sign. Okay. So here what we do is that we compare this quantity x square plus 3x minus 2. This quadratic which is given, we compare that quadratic with given quadratic over here. Okay. And you especially see the sign of the middle term. Middle term, that means the quantity containing x. What is the sign of this term? Positive. So if it is positive, we shall be equating, or we shall be putting equivalent to this a square plus 2ab plus b square term, depending upon this sign. This is positive, so we shall be writing it in the form of a plus b whole square. Okay, and then we try to go for comparison of each and every term. So suppose first term is x square, I compare it with a square. So I can write x square is equivalent to a square. This will imply what is the value of a, or what is to which quantity will a be equivalent to. If x square is equivalent to a square, then a will be equivalent to x. Okay. So comparison of the first term over here, that has been done. And second comparison I am doing over here, this 3x will be compared with twice ab. This 3x is being compared with twice ab. So now in place of x, what can we imagine? X was equivalent to a. So here you can say that this is 3a is equal to twice ab. So a can be cancelled out, and we try to write down the value of b is equal to 3 upon 2. Correct? If b is equal to 3 upon 2, what will be the value of b square? If b is equal to 3 upon 2, b square would be equal to 9 upon 4. Okay. So now what I am saying that, as per my assumption, if x square plus 3x, if these two terms are equated with a square plus 2ab, and if I could add 9 by 4 to it, though this constant quantity is minus 2, but suppose if I add 9 by 4 to it, so I will be getting the third term like b square also. And in that case, in place of having these three terms, I will be in the position to write down a plus b whole square. Okay. So what I am doing, children, from my side, this b square term, this is added and this is subtracted. Okay. You please see that thing again in the original question now. So original question remains the integration of dx upon x square plus 3x plus, that means this is a square, this is 2ab, and along with that I am going to add b square term. And this term was not there in the question, so I am adding it from my side. If I am adding it from my side, I should subtract it for maintaining the balance. Okay. So addition of 9 by 4 and subtraction of 9 by 4 has been done. So after we add 9 by 4 and subtract 9 by 4, we get the quantity like, I've forgotten, I should have told you that the value of integral will be always assumed capital I. This is convention that we are following. Okay. So this is dx upon first three terms x square plus 3x plus 9 by 4 these three terms I am putting them within the bracket, and here for remaining two terms minus 9 by 4 and minus 2, I am taking their LCM and I am writing the combination of the term like minus 17 by 4. I hope there is no problem in understanding this one. And if by chance if any student is having difficulty, you can please ask that thing to me right now, okay, so that we can find out the solution of your difficulty right now. This will be equal to dx upon, it will be equal to dx upon, and this x square plus 3x plus 9 by 4 can be written in the form of x plus 3 by 2 the whole square, minus 17 by 4 can be written in the form of under root of 17 by 2 the whole square. Is it okay? Can we write this quantity in the form of x plus 3 by 2 whole square minus root 17 by 2 whole square? And then I will ask you to go for a substitution. Okay? The substitution is that if you substitute x plus 3 by 2 is equal to some variable t. Go for the substitution. X plus 3 upon 2 is equal to t. And you wrote after that, you should be differentiating. You should be differentiating. So this basic concepts we already have studied in last couple of classes. So differentiating with respect to x. So derivative of x with respect to x will be equal to 1. Derivative of 3 by 2 is equal to 0. And derivative of t with respect to x will be written as dt upon dx. And with the help of this, we can write dx is equal to dt. It says substitution not only will be done for x plus 3 by 2, but substitution will be done for dx also. So if we go for both of the substitutions, then we notice that the function will now be written in the form of, in place of this dx, what shall I be writing now? dt. And in case of x plus 3 by 2 whole square, what can now I write? T square minus under root of 17 by 2 whole square. And now you notice, dear students, that originally you were given a quadratic in the denominator and you did not have any formula for integration of dx upon quadratic. But now whatever function you are having, see that function dx upon, this is pure quadratic. And in the beginning only I have told you that we are having the formula for integration of dx upon pure quadratic. So which formula can we record for integration of dt upon t square minus root 17 by 2 whole square? You can always recall the formula.
A square.
Yes, dx upon integration of dx upon x square minus a square. Okay. See that variable term is coming first, so you should be able to write down x square minus a square. Okay. And answer to that, if you recall the formula correctly, this is 1 by 2a log of
X minus a upon x
minus
plus.
a divided by x plus a. Not visible?
Given, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now we are in only one small change. Standard formula we have memorized in terms of variable x, but we are going to apply that particular formula in terms of variable t. So this small transformation of standard formula, which is recorded in terms in our memory, and which we are going to actually apply. So change of variable takes place. So here, how can we write the answer? So answer will be equal to 1 by 2a. This 1 by 2a. A is the same constant quantity over here, whose square was written in the formula. Okay. So 1 upon 2 into the value of a. What is the value of a here? The square of a is written here. So root 17 upon 2. So 1 by 2 into root 17 upon 2. This is the value of 1 upon 2a. Okay, 1 upon 2a into log of, okay. Here we write x minus a upon x plus a. So here variable is t. So we shall be writing this in the form of t plus a, sorry, t minus a. So t minus root 17 upon 2 divided by t plus root 17 upon 2 plus c. Correct? And now further simplification is concerned, that is not difficult task. So I am simplifying that thing further for you. And I require some working place also. So I am cleaning the question in the first line also of the question. So here I write value of I is equal to 1 by 17, 1 by root 17, 1 by root 17 log of, here I can write that in the form of 2t minus root 17, 2 times t minus root 17 divided by 2t plus root 17. That is after taking the LCM and cancelling this 2 from numerator and denominator. Okay. One thing I am expecting finally, in place of variable t, now what are you supposed to write? T was a variable which you have introduced from your side, and this t has got the value x plus 3 upon 2. Okay, so what is the value of 2t? If t is equal to x plus 3 by 2, what is the value of 2t? What is the value of 2t?
X plus 3.
Yes. So 1 upon under root 17 log of, would you write you said x plus 3 or 2x plus 3?
2x plus 3.
2x plus 3. Okay. So this is 2x plus 3 minus root 17 divided by 2x plus 3 plus under root 17 plus the constant of integration. Okay. So here you see that what we have done, we have tried to integrate the special type of function. Sorry, students. But in that integration process, we use the concept of substitution also. Okay. So not only the practice of substitution takes place, but we will be able to integrate the higher level difficulty question also.
The rationalization is needed, or that is also enough?
No. Our target is not to go for rationalization. Actually, you see, the purpose of rationalization is more required in all such cases when you don't want to write down the answer in the form of an irrational number. Okay, that is more or less that was related to the number system or the topic of real numbers. So here we are not dealing with the real numbers. So this way will be perfectly all right, because our main purpose is to go for integration, not for simplifying the rational expression like this. Okay, so we actually, as per our purposes, we try to take the particular step. Okay, that thing happens.
Yes, sir.
I am writing next question also. Let us solve one more question of the same variety. If I write integration of dx upon 3x square minus 7x plus 2. Suppose if I write this type of question. The difference in the quantity. Here variable square term is having the coefficient 3. In the previous question it was not. Okay. So here what I am suggesting, children, I will be in the position to first of all take this coefficient of x square term out of integration. Okay, means I write it 1 by 3 outside and I try to write down dx upon x square minus 7 upon 3x plus 2 upon 3 like this. Means in all scenario, quadratic within the integration should be having x square term, always coefficient should be equal to 1. This I wanted to convey. Okay, if you could do that thing, then next conversion will be very easy. Please see me doing that thing. I wanted that you should be able to go for either a square minus 2ab plus b square or else a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay, either here you will be having a square plus 2ab plus b square form or else a square minus 2ab plus b square form. Here coefficient of a square is 1. Okay, and that is why I have taken this 3 out of integration, so that this variable square term, it is having the coefficient equal to 1. Are you understanding that thing? Okay.
Yes,
now
sir.
next coefficient is 2, which in the standard formula next coefficient is 2, but here I don't have that 2. So what I am going to suggest, we multiply it by 2 and divide it by 2. Okay, see that x square minus 2 times 7 by 6 into x multiplication of 2 in the numerator and multiplication of 2 in the denominator. This becomes 2 into 7 by 6. Is it okay? And now you see that thing. Please say here, this x square term and a square, they are comparable. This minus sign is comparable. This coefficient 2 is comparable. And when you have seen that this x square and a square, they are equal. So what about this quantity x? X will be equivalent to a. So you will be able to match these two terms also. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is left over in this middle term? B. And what is left over in the middle term over here? 7 by 6. So here I say B is equal to 7 by 6. And what else do you need to make this perfect square? B square. So you should be able to add B square is equal to 49 by 36. Okay. This term B square, it is not there in the question because you are having the constant 2 by 3. We need 49 by 36 for making this perfect square. But we don't have 49 by 36. We are having 2 by 3. So we shall have it by addition and by subtraction. Means some sort of manipulation would be there. And after manipulating that, we will be in the position to make the quantities perfect square. Okay. So here you can see that first I made the coefficient of this quadratic coefficient of x square term. I have made 1. And then multiplication of 2 and division of 2. Okay. So directly I am getting the value of b equal to 7 by 6. I am supposed to add b square term, that means 49 by 36. This term should have been there. Okay. So now what I am writing, you can see that thing. 1 by 3 times dx upon x square minus 2 into 7 by 6 into x plus 49 by 36. 49 by 36 minus 49 by 36 plus 2 by 3. I hope you must have understood each and everything clearly. And this three terms, group of these three terms can be written in the form of, the question will be I is equal to 1 by 3 dx upon, here you can write a minus b, that means value of b was 7 by 6. So x minus 7 by 6 the whole square. Okay. And now this simplification of these two terms, should be done properly with the sign. There should not be any mistake in the sign. Okay. So what is the simplification of these two terms? It is giving you minus 25 upon 36. Multiplied by 12 and divided by 12 so that denominator will be equal to 36, and then you can simplify that. Okay. So now what I am writing, 1 by 3 I is equal to 1 by 3 times integration of dx upon x minus 7 by 6 whole square minus 5 by 6 the whole square. And here I will substitute x minus 7 by 6 is equal to t. Okay. And after substitution, we differentiate and we write dx is equal to dt. The manner in which I have differentiated, I think you don't have any problem to understand. So dx will be equal to dt, x minus 7 by 6 will be equal to t. And now we are going to replace the value of dx by dt and the value of x minus 7 by 6 by t. So this particular state, we shall be able to write down I is equal to integration of dt upon t square minus 5 by 6 whole square. And now you see that this is the standard formula. You can see the given function was not in the standard form because we did not have the formula to integrate a general quadratic in the denominator. But this formula dt upon t square minus 5 by 6 whole square, this is a pure quadratic in the denominator. And we are having the formula to integrate the pure quadratic in the denominator. Okay. So that formula can be correctly recorded. And we can write the, yes. Somebody is having some doubt or difficulty?
No, sir.
I thought somebody said sir. So anyway, So here I write, sorry, I committed one small mistake. This 1 by 3 which was to be written outside. So I could not write 1 by 3 over here. That I am now rectifying my mistake. Okay. So I is equal to 1 by 3. This coefficient is outside. And now I am applying the formula 1 by 2a. So 1 by 2 into 5 upon 6. Okay. 1 by 2 into 5 upon 6. Log of, that was t minus a. That means t minus 5 by 6 divided by t plus 5 by 6 plus a constant of integration. Okay, so this 3 2s are 6, 6 and 6 will get cancelled. We get I is equal to 1 upon 5 times log of minus 5 upon 6 into t plus 5 plus a constant of integration. If you take LCM over here, so this will imply 6x minus 7 whole upon 6 is equal to t. If you cross multiply, you will be able to write 6x minus 7 is equal to 6 into t. So this value of 6 into t, that will be replaced by writing 6x minus 7. Okay. So here we write I is equal to 1 upon 5 times log of 6x minus 7 minus 5 divided by 6x minus 7 plus 5 plus 6. And this will be equal to 1 by 5 times log of 6x minus 12 divided by 6x minus 2. Further simplification, cancellation of some quantity if there, that can be done by. Okay. So this is the way in which we are going to utilize the method of substitution, because the standard form is not given for integration. The previous classes what I took, I already have clarified why are we using the method of substitution. So most important thing was the process of substitution should be used so that the given question could be converted in the integrable form. Okay, why this technique was used? Why did we use the substitution? Because this question, it is not in the integrable form. Means it is such a log whose key cannot be seen by us. We don't have the key of this one. Okay, so that kind of thing was there. So we try to convert that in the standard form. The moment we converted that in the standard form, we give the answer for this integration and that can be applied. Okay, so this is the procedure for using the process of substitution. Should I clean the solution?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Students, as a practice, you please try to solve 1 or 2 questions based on this one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm switching over to next variety of the question right now.
Okay.
Because tomorrow in the morning when we meet, by that time at least 5 or 6 questions you should have solved. This is my anticipation from you all, expectation from you all. Okay. So
Yes.
next article what I have written for you, that was dx upon quadratic, root quadratic rather. Okay. So under root of quadratic. Dx upon under root of quadratic. And for this also the same type of process is adopted. Same type of process is adopted. You see the question. Suppose if I write integration of dx upon under root of x square minus 9x plus 11. Suppose if I write like this. You know, next type of question, coefficient of this x square also can be made other than 1. Just for your understanding, the first question I am taking little bit easier. Otherwise, next second question we can make the coefficient of x square other than 1 also. Okay. Procedure is same. Whatever general quadratic we are given, we are required to convert that general quadratic in the perfect square. Okay, we take it perfect square. So fortunately now this is a square term. So we are required to convert that in the form of 2ab. Means now x square minus 9x plus 11. If I compare it with a square minus 2ab plus b square, Okay, so now you see that a square can be compared with a square. Okay, both of them are having the coefficients 1, so there is no problem. This minus sign can be compared with minus sign, there is no problem. Let me do one small thing. I multiply it by 2 and I divide this quantity by 2. Okay, so this quantity middle term 9x becomes 2 into 9 by 2 into x. Okay, so here you can see that now this 2 also can be compared with 2. A was comparable with x, that after comparing the first term of the quadratic you already have done, that value of a is equal to x. So here the value of a is equal to x. So this x also we have compared, this 2 also we have compared. What is left over? Leftover quantity is b. And what is leftover quantity over here? 9 upon 2. So now if we compare these two things, what answer are we getting? B is equal to 9 upon 2. So comparing a square and 2ab terms, comparing these two terms of the quadratic, we are in the position to get the value of b is equal to 9 upon 2. And now notice that apart from a square minus 2ab, apart from these two terms, we should have b square term added to that. When we add b square term to this, we shall be able to get the perfect square. That means what has to be added to x square minus 9x to make it perfect square? What quantity should be added to x square minus 9x to make them perfect square? The square of b. That means square of 9 by 2. That means 81 by 4. 81 by 4 should be added and should be subtracted from these two terms so that the quadratic within the square root sign can be made a perfect square term. Okay, please see that. So I is equal to dx upon under root of x square minus 9x, and as we have clearly found the value of b equal to 9 by 2, so I am directly adding the square of that 81 by 4. Simply addition is not sufficient. To balance it, we are required to subtract also. So I am subtracting 81 by 4 plus 11. It is given as a constant in the question, so we write like that. And simplification of this can be written like dx upon under root of x minus 9 by 2 the whole square. And I always lay down emphasis that simplification of these two terms should be properly done. There should not be any mistake in sign. And by chance, if you commit a mistake in sign, then final answer will be drastically different. So I request once again, please try to go for proper simplification of this. So what is the answer for this? When you simplify minus 81 by 4 plus 11, what final answer do you get? So all students, please simplify and tell your answer to me. Please tell your answers to me.
Minus 37 by 4.
Yes, minus 37. This minus sign is precious. This is more important. Okay, because of this minus sign only, ultimately you are going to write down the question in the form of dt upon under root of t square minus a square. This one. Okay, and suppose by mistake, say here if you are writing dt upon under root of t square minus a square, final answer would be, what is the final answer? Log of t plus under root of t square minus a square plus c. Correct? But suppose if you commit mistake and then you write it in the form of under root of t square plus a square, then somewhere here in the final answer you are going to commit a mistake. Okay, so be careful while simplifying the values. Okay, so it is minus whatever you said that was correct, Atharva. I am writing root 37 by 2 the whole square. Okay, because in the standard formula we are required to write down a square, that means the square of a constant, so that 37 by 4 was converted to the square of root 37 by 2. Again follow the substitution. X minus 9 by 2 is equal to t, and differentiate. After differentiation you will be getting dx is equal to dt. Okay. Writing dx is equal to dt will now convert the given question. So this will imply I is equal to dt upon under root of t square minus root 37 by 2 the whole square. And standard formula, say why is need of memorizing the standard formula? Okay, because hereafter, if we do not recall the formula, we are not going to get the mark. Let me explain. The question was based on integration, and integration would be completed if you write some step hereafter, because whatever number of steps I have shown so far in my solution, those were conversion of this root quadratic in the standard form. They were not related to the integration. Question is asked for integration, and if I don't integrate, I am not going to get the full weightage of marks for the question. Correct? And integration would be done if you recall correct formula for answer, for writing the answer. So you see how it is connected. If you do not recall the correct formula, then also marks are lost. And even if you do not write the formula hereafter, then also marks are lost. And that's why my piece of advice, what I shared with you all in the beginning of the class only, to write all 30 formulae without fail on regular basis. Okay, all formulae should be memorized by you and they should be properly recalled by you, because recall of memory is more important thing for mathematics. So here I write I is equal to 1, sorry, I should not write 1 by 2a. I should write log of t plus under root of t square minus root 37 upon 2 square. This is the standard result what I should write. And I am saving my screen right now. मैं अपनी चमड़ी बचा रहा हूँ थोड़ी सी. यहाँ पर t की जगह पे जो substitution था, वो substitution आप लोग कर सकते हैं. Okay, it is my third or fourth question what I demonstrated. So it is a very small exercise. I am writing the original answer in terms of variable t, but you all know, dear children, that original variable is x. So replacing the value of t back in terms of x, that small activity can be done by you all people. And that's why I am not solving this question hereafter. Is it okay, children?
Yes, sir.
So what we studied, could you understand something today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubt or any difficulty, whatever I have explained? Are you understanding that thing perfectly? There is no problem at all?
No problem, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you for cooperation. Okay. So we just concentrate on the next variety of the question. And I suppose I should write that in the form of dx upon a plus b into sin x.
Sir, 1 minute.
Yes, please.
Sir, there are a few questions in NCERT in which we get under root and we get minus of x square. That is the highest power is with negative. So I know how to integrate. So we take the minus sign common and then we convert it into a pure quadratic. And then we get the minus sign again into that. And if they
yes, it will be means simple thing, child, that minus sign will not be taken out of square root sign.
Yes, sir. That is inside only.
Yes,
sir. So my doubt is that only. So if I take the minus sign as iota and into divide with iota, so we get the for a quadratic 4 roots, 2 in the Cartesian plane, 2 in the plane plane.
I tell you one small thing here, that basically what is integration? Integration is the antiderivative procedure. Okay, means where from integration was derived with the help of differentiation. And for differentiation, what do we consider? If y is a real valued function, that means value of the function should be always taken real. Correct? So this is the particular point where I would advise that even if within the square root sign, x square term seems to be negative, but you should not be converting that in the form of iota, because normally differentiation and integration, they are applied more over real functions, not on imaginary quantity. Okay, so this was the thing. So you should not go for conversion of that. And that is why rather than writing in terms of iota, we again multiply that minus sign inside. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And Actually, I am not providing the solution of that variety of the question today. I would have provided that thing tomorrow. To see what happens that in 1.5 hour duration, okay, my target would be to give you the sample of more number of varieties of the questions. Correct? And tomorrow in the morning, when I will be there, again I will be starting with the variety of the question. Whatever we have studied, okay, still I am having pending that particular article, linear upon quadratic. Okay, so let me just show you how do we go for a solution of dx upon a plus b sin x type of question, so that it will be completion of one article dx upon quadratic. And that's why I did not go in much detail with that variety of the question what you have pointed out. Okay, I have not missed that variety because it is important thing for everybody. So all students should know what to do with that minus sign. Okay, so that example tomorrow in the morning I will be discussing with you all. Right now I wanted to just show you the places where this article dx upon quadratic can be applied. So though it seems to be a trigonometric function in the denominator, where a and b are constant quantities and sin x is a trigonometric function, but you will be surprised to see that ultimately this type of function, if we follow a substitution, this type of function also can be converted in the form of dx upon quadratic. Okay, so
Yes,
please
sir.
see, means it will give you one more variety of the question which you can practice today in the night. So tomorrow, when in the morning, when we are meeting at 9 o'clock, at that time you will be in the position to find out solution of couple of questions like this, or else you will be able to ask me your doubt or difficulty. Correct?
Yes, sir. So means I will continue my doubt tomorrow of that minus sign because that is a bit more left.
No, even you don't have to bother. Let me finish up with this 2-3 type of questions, and if time permits, I will be solving your query right now also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what is the time left over with me. I don't carry wristwatch with me.
It's 7:43.
7:43. So okay, we will be in the position to make it out. Okay, don't worry about that.
Yes, sir.
As I said that A and B, these are constant quantities. So this is the third variety or fourth variety of the question what I am discussing with you. Suppose if I write dx upon 3 plus 4 sin x. Okay. And then I would like to show you one small thing, children. May it be sin x or may it be cos x. So let me provide the solution for other variety of the problem also, dx upon a plus b cos x. This will be the type of the question what we are solving. Okay, and what substitutions we are using. Substitutions are nothing but formally. You know, sin x can be written in the form of 1 minus, or it can be written in the form of twice tan x by 2 upon 1 plus tan square x by 2. Trigonometrical formula is there. Sin x can be written in the form of 2 into tan x by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square x by 2.
Yes, sir. Half angle.
And cos x, if we write cos x in the form of half angles, we will be able to write down cos x in the form of 1 minus tan square x by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square x by 2. Okay, so now I will suggest that if the original function contains only sin x, then we shall be trying to write down the value of sin x in terms of 2 tan x by 2 upon 1 plus tan square x by 2. If the original function contains only cos x, then we shall be writing the value of cos x is equal to 1 minus tan square x by 2 upon 1 plus tan square x by 2. And by chance, if the question contains sin x and cos x both, and now I will ask you to please refer to the next type of questions also, what you have noted down after them. I forgotten the serial number, I think 7 or 6 or 7 serial number, you might have noted them. Today we have written 12 varieties of the question. So these two are in those 12 varieties. And after this, I think you will be having the formula like dx upon a sin x plus b cos x.
Yes, sir. That and linear by quadratic is left. We
Linear by quadratic, I said tomorrow I will be doing that thing.
yes,
There was
sir.
a reason behind that thing, that all this formulae, all these trigonometric functions what I have written, okay, those trigonometric functions ultimately after following the solution or after following the substitution, they will be converted in the dx upon quadratic form. Okay, so what I did for you, I explained dx upon quadratic. In the same fashion, I explained dx upon under root quadratic, and I am taking now this dx upon a plus b sin x, or dx upon a plus b cos x, or dx upon a sin x plus b cos x, or else even dx upon a sin x plus b cos x plus c. For all four varieties, wherever we see only sin x is written, we shall be using the substitution 2 tan x by 2 upon 1 plus tan square x by 2. If we see only cos x is written, we shall be applying this formula. And wherever sin x and cos x both are present, wherever sin x and cos x both are present, we shall be substituting the value of both sin x also and cos x also. Okay, so you please note down these two formulae for sin x as well as for cos x, and then look at the question. And after looking at the question, we shall be substituting the value of sin x or cos x, or else sin x and cos x both. Okay, so now this variety of the question you already are having, and simple question what I have written is dx upon 3 plus 4 sin x. So I write dx upon 3 plus 4, and in place of writing this sin x, I am going to write down 2 tan x by 2. 2 tan x by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square x by 2. And then we take LCM. And we write that in the form of dx upon 3 into 1 plus tan square x by 2 plus 8 tan x by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square x by 2. Means this is the LCM what we have taken for 3 plus 4 into 2 tan x by 2 upon 1 plus tan square x by 2. And simplification here after I am doing. This is denominator of LCM. So this denominator shall be after inverse multiplication, it will be written as a multiplicating factor for dx. So I am writing this in the form of 1 plus tan square x by 2 into dx divided by, we can open the bracket now, 3 into 1, so that gives you 3, plus 3 into tan square x by 2, that gives you 3 tan square x by 2, plus 8 tan x by 2. So this is 8 into tan x by 2. Okay, so the original function, what dx upon 3 plus 4 sin x was, this is written in the form of 1 plus tan square x by 2 in the numerator into dx divided by 3 plus 3 tan square x by 2 plus 8 tan x by 2. And please allow me to clean this formulae for sin x and cos x. Many a times I will be writing those formulae, so you can write it later also, there is no problem. Okay, so this question turns into this 1 plus tan square x by 2 will be sec square x by 2. So this is sec square x by 2 dx, and let me arrange it in the decreasing powers of the function. So let me write down 3 into tan square x by 2 plus 8 tan x by 2, and at last this constant quantity 3. Okay, and then I am writing substitution for you. If I write tan x by 2 is equal to t, and you know, after following the substitution, we are required to differentiate. So when we differentiate with respect to t or with respect to x, it is one and the same thing. Okay, so I have differentiated with respect to x. So tan function has got the derivative sec square. Okay, so when I differentiated tan x by 2, first I differentiated tan function. So derivative of tan function is sec square, x by 2 remains same, and after differentiation of tan function, then I should differentiate x by 2. So that will be written 1 by 2 is equal to t differentiated with respect to x, that gives me dt by dx. Okay, so here This 1 by 2 is a constant quantity. Let me write on the right hand side. So that will be written in the form of 2 times dt here. And this dx should be written along with quantities containing x. So I write sec square of x by 2 into dx is equal to 2 times dt. Correct? So sec square x by 2 into dx, it will be equal to 2 times dt. Now you see, this is sec square x by 2 into dx. So in place of this numerator, what can we all write? In place of this sec square x by 2 into dx, what can we all write? 2 times dt. Okay. So should I leave this part, left hand part of the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Beta. So you see that sec square x by 2 dx was to be replaced by writing 2 times dt. So this is 2 times dt. Okay. Divided by, what shall I be writing for this one? What can I write for this term? Following the substitution. Please look at the term and answer. 3
T square.
Okay. So you write 3t square. Okay. For next term,
8T.
I wrote 8t. For next term,
Plus 3.
3. Look at the question. Which type of question is this now?
Quadratic.
Means it is a general quadratic in the denominator. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Means this is the first article where from I have started my class today. Okay. So should I leave this question for you children?
Yes, sir. Now it will be easier to solve.
Okay. I hope you will be in the position to solve it. Okay.
Yes,
I have
sir.
told
Yes,
you
sir.
that first you should make the coefficient of this t square is equal to 1. Means you take out 3 common from denominator. You write that 3 outside. And even this 2 from numerator can be taken out. So 2 from numerator and 3 from denominator. If taken out, we are going to get dt upon t square plus, I write 2 into 4 by 3 here plus 1. 8. This 8 intentionally was written in the form of 2 into 4. And as we have taken 3 out, so upon 3 has to come. Taking this 3 out, it will be giving you this value equal to 1. So you are required to make now, this is a square plus 2. Sorry, I forgotten to write down t. So let me write t also here. This is t plus 1. So this is a square plus 2ab. What term you don't have? That is b square. So you write 2 by 3 dt upon t square plus 2 into 4 upon 3 into t plus b square, that means 16 upon 9 you don't have, so you have added, you are separating now and you are writing plus 1 also. And I hope hereafter you can make that quantity in the form of perfect square and you can solve today. Okay. So students, this varieties of the questions, they were important in my opinion. So not only you have probably you have learned a method to integrate little important type of questions also. Side by side, this process of substitution also I am clarifying. Okay, means it is giving you the practice of not only the substitution but to gain the confidence for solving a difficult question hereafter. Okay. So at this moment, should I take break today?
Yes, sir.
So please try to find out the solution for some of the questions and please ask your doubts and difficulties tomorrow in the morning. Okay. I hope you are happy with which you are not thinking that 1.5 hour time is wasted. Are you thinking
No, sir.
like that?
No way.
No, no way. That's good. Good for complimenting that. Okay. So see you dear students tomorrow in the morning 9 o'clock. I will be there. Okay. Good night till that time.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay. Good night. So Atharva was there, and I could now see Mahima also is here, and Rehan also is here. So Rehan and Mahima, can you please introduce yourself? I don't know you. Rehan, in which school are you studying? Can you please unmute your mic and introduce yourself to me?
My name is Rehan Ansari, sir.
Okay. In which school are you studying, Rehan?
Secondary school, sir.
Which
Bright.
one? Bright School?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that means here in the Chavni, I suppose, that school, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mahima, in which school are you studying, beta? Anyway, see you students tomorrow in the morning.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye, sir.